Good morning.
Good morning. This is our second video. Okay, we're actually gonna try to keep it consistent. Where we're setting up some material for you guys. Today we're gonna talk about habits. There's good and bad habits, right, Jose?
Yeah, one of the things that we were just talking about it before we started this little video. The habits that we have here at the office at the company. So I mean, this podcast that we have here is more about where we work. So it's about the habits that we have here. And I mean, yeah, I mean, one of them would be like marketing, not like
Yeah,
marketing habits.
let's talk about marketing, and I think this is one of the most essential topics. We've been we've been discussing marketing every single day, just because uh, we want to inject a new mentality when it comes down to marketing, and I think if everyone understands the concept of marketing, the purpose of marketing, and really understands the concept of actually going outside and being productive, then we're going to be more successful. Now, our business reflects on marketing. We don't advertise, so we got to keep that in mind. We don't advertise. The way we generate traffic, the way we generate leads and walk-ins is through marketing. Now, one of the negatives is the habits, right? For example, I'll share a couple of habits. We'll go back and forth, Jose. The most I'll bring some negative habits. One of the most common habits is the fact that we don't really do we don't actually go out there and do marketing. We walk around. That's technically what it is. One of the habits is that simply walking around is not marketing. I think a habit of just going with the flow of the day. If someone comes up to me, then I'll talk to them. That's technically a bad habit. Okay, I'm waiting for clients to come up to me, and guess what? We're never gonna accomplish anything. Um, so our mentality should be completely different. We should actually go out there with a purpose. We should go out there with a positive, taking an initiative habit of approaching every single customer. One of the things that I learned from Jose is you need to talk to every single person. So instead of a bad habit of just walking around or just waiting for someone, you should start implementing a good habit, which is approaching every single person that you see. It doesn't matter if they're walking away. One of the things that I do when I'm marketing,
We follow.
we follow them. If I see them that they're on the other side of the parking lot, I start walking faster.
Or
Okay.
you try to cut them off. Like you do this thing where they're coming this way, so you do like a little pie, and you cut them off before they get to the store.
Exactly. You start strategizing. How can I get there faster before he actually leaves or before he turns the car? So I think that's a good habit.
I've even yelled, "Hey!" and they stop, and then I just act like it wasn't me, and then I start talking to them, so they turn around.
You got to distract them.
You gotta make
But
sure that they-
but that's a very good habit.
So with marketing, like the reason that we brought up the habits of marketing because I've been doing it a little bit more often the last couple of days, and I've done it for what 6 years already. So I like it. I actually enjoy going outside and passing flyers. To me, it's actually probably my favorite part of the entire company of the work that I do. The reason it's so I like it so much is because it's fun. I mean, what's the worst that could happen when you have a customer? I mean, you're risking a sale. Either you sell it or not. But with marketing, if you have a guy outside that you talk to and he completely, I mean, let's just say he rips your head off and says, "Hey, you know what? I don't like you," or "I'll get off. I'm not interested," or whatever, or cusses you out or flicks you off. By the way, I've had these before. I think I told you before. Really, I got a gun
What
pulled on
happens?
me once. Did I tell you?
It's a water
Here.
gun.
Yeah, no. A real gun here in LA1. Actually, this guy comes up and then I guess I was staring at him, and he assumed something and he came out and then he apologized and he left. But what I'm saying is that with marketing, it's so much fun because you are the one that determines your salary. So unlike a guy that works at Burger King or McDonald's, it don't matter how many burgers he flips, his payment is still $13 an hour. So here with us, the more people you speak to, the more chances you're gonna have someone to come in and buy with you. So if you talk to, let's just say, 10 people, maybe those 10 people are not interested. But how do you know that the 14th person is not gonna be the one that's interested? So that's a habit that I think that everybody should have is that they should talk to everyone because sometimes what happens is that you go outside and you talk to 10, 20, 30 people and then you give up. But how do you know that the 31st person is not the person that's gonna come in to buy insurance from you? So in reality, that's one of the habits that I want to emphasize on that we need to start getting used to that going outside and actually talking to people, even though we're scared or worried or let's just say they look mean. Just the meanest people are actually the nicest
nicer,
ones
yeah.
because they respect the fact that you're
soft.
going. No, yeah, because you see the person that acts tough, or looks tough. When you go up to them and they notice, damn, this guy actually came up to me and I look kind of intimidating. Hey, that's kind of respectful. Let me see what he has to say. So me, I've had so many people that I walked in that are like, how can I put it? Someone would have said, "Oh no, I'm not gonna go up to him." Sometimes I walk outside and I see some people turn the other way, and I end up talking to that same person. I end up bringing them in. So one of the habits that we want to bring up with marketing is talk to every person. Force yourself to talk to everybody. Don't convince
choose.
yourself. Yeah.
Don't be selective. In marketing, you should never be selective. And you're right. See, the mentality is you really don't know who's gonna say yes, who's gonna say no. The mentality should be everyone's gonna say yes, okay? And if they say no, then it's okay because it's part of our job. It's part of your responsibility to offer information. Believe it or not, I'll share something connected to this. Those 10 customers that Jose mentioned that are gonna reject you, I guarantee you, if you do a good job as far as getting your point across, offering information, breaking the ice, that's something that's gonna make a big difference. These are the returning prospects that we talk about. Those customers that usually come back because someone gave them information. They may not come back the following day, but it could be the following week. And marketing is a pattern, okay? We do marketing today, not only for today, but also to set up the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year. We have a lot of customers that usually come back based on us approaching them. So keep that in mind. The more customers you approach every single day, the better chances. Mm-hmm. I think another habit with marketing, Jose, is a habit of not throwing the towel. Okay, actually, I did a little bit of marketing this week. Okay, in LA1. Just to give you guys an idea, less than 30 minutes, I was able to bring 2 walk-ins, okay, and possibly about three leads, 4 leads, with 3 different agents, okay, a good 10-15 minutes each. And one of the things that I realized, one of the things that I confirmed is that we give up so fast, okay. See, what makes me different, what makes Jose different, what makes Danny different when we talk about marketing is the fact that we really don't care if we get rejected right away. I'm expecting to get rejected. Matter of fact, I'm probably more shocked when I don't get rejected right away because every single customer is going to tell me, no, I'm not interested, okay? The difference is, what am I going to do? A bad habit is right away, thank you, have a good day, give me a flyer. Let me give you a flyer. That's a bad habit. Our mentality should be, I've always used the concept of minimum of 3 times. So I actually use it. I ignore whatever they tell me, and I try it again and again and again. And believe it or not, 7 out of 10 clients, I'm able to at least convince them to give me their phone numbers. Why? Because I keep trying. I really don't care. I had a customer that actually walked away from me. I was giving him information. He was putting a few products in his trunk. As soon as I told him about walking in for a quote, okay, he said, no, I'm not interested. He walked away and he opened up his door and he was ready to leave. So guess what I did? I followed him. And I kept emphasizing on getting my point across, emphasizing on insurance. I qualified him a little bit, asked him a couple questions, distracted him from his goal of getting away. And eventually I ended up getting his number. So it's a bad habit to give up right away. Everybody gets rejected and they move on, and I think that's one of the reasons why our production and marketing is very low, because maybe we are approaching a little bit more clients than what we think. Mm-hmm. Maybe, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that everyone's giving up so fast, it actually doesn't allow us to really generate the traffic or the walk-ins.
And I think that with marketing, it's kind of like we're all human, right? Even myself. And something can distract you. It could be life. It could be you're hungry or you're tired or you had a great night last night and you keep talking about it, whatever. Something can distract you. So what I've done is I've set a set of rules for myself so that I could police myself to do the right thing, because again, I'm human, so I make the same mistakes that everybody else does, right? So what I do is I go outside and I have a habit of saying, I'm not gonna stop until I talk to 20, 30 people. Whatever that decision is, I do it until that. I don't even come in to drink water. The reason I don't do that is because every single time that I distract myself from my goal, what it does is it kind of how could I put it? It weakens the initiative. So I always force myself to do something like that so that I don't fall victim to my own laziness. Because again, we're human and sometimes we'll fall into that. So yeah, like Rudy's saying is that we give up too soon. Sometimes it's not even because we want to. It's just mentally
It's
or
natural.
it's natural. You just kind of like you go outside and you
Part of
market,
who you are.
and then you start kind of like dozing off to the stars and then or the sun. I guess I'm sorry, right? Because there's no stars. So you kind of start dozing off and you forget what you're supposed to be doing, and then you see someone, you're like, oh God, okay, let me go and talk to him. But you see that in itself already causes an issue because you're not focused. So when you go up to that person and give them the flyer, like you're like, oh, you have to give them a flyer, and you give them a flyer, and the guy's like, oh yeah, well, I'm not interested. Okay, but if you were focused from the beginning, if you came in there with a purpose, like, hey, how are you? My name is this and that and that. I'm here to offer you auto insurance. I'm trying to see if I can save you some money on insurance. The first objection they give you, you already came focused, so you're gonna know exactly what to say.
You're
And
prepared.
yeah, you're prepared. So that's the thing that kind of makes me more effective when it comes to marketing. Because when I go out there, I go out there with a purpose. I don't go out there to walk around. I don't go out there scared. So me, it don't matter how you look. You know, sometimes some guys are intimidated to go up to women. You know, some girls are. I've heard a lot of women say, "Oh, I don't talk to women. I can't. I only look for guys because the women are. I guess they give
More
attitude or
aggressive.
something. Yeah. So it's like no. I mean, at the end of the day, I go up to man.
Talk to
I
everybody.
go to bums. You know, you never know when their life's gonna turn around. You don't know. You know, a bum could come in one day, but the next day come in with a Lambo. He's gonna come and get insurance with Access. Well, Access is no longer here, but yeah, you never know. So I talk to everybody. I greet everyone. Technically, when you're outside marketing, I consider myself just me. I'm already a brand to that shopping center because anybody that comes into the shopping center, they're gonna see a guy with a tie, and then instantly they're gonna say, "Oh wow, like yeah, they're out here all the time." So automatically, when you say, "Hi, I'm doing insurance," next month, 3 months from now, just by seeing you and they see you working, they're gonna say, "Oh well, I need insurance," and then they're having a conversation with a brother or something, and hey, you know, why don't you
First, yeah.
why don't you go to that place? There's a guy always outside passing flyers for insurance. They say they have low costs or whatever. They could probably set you up on something pretty reasonable. So that already does a difference. So that's why the habits in marketing are good, and also trusting your fundamentals, right? Like I mean, we've taught a lot of you a couple things about marketing, sales, and everything, and I think that we should all trust them, you know, and
Besides trusting them, I think we should learn them, accept them, and we should always execute them. The problem with at least the basics or fundamentals is the fact that we think we're confident and we think we already know enough, so we forget about these basic steps that we've taught you guys from the beginning, and those are the steps that actually makes a difference. For anything, I mean, if we talk about marketing, for example, the basics, I mean, we're talking about them right now. Being focused, not being distracted, going out there and executing, okay? Taking no for an answer.
not taking no for an
Sorry,
answer.
not accepting the rejections, not accepting no. Going out there and actually talking to every single customer. All of these are the basics of marketing. These are the fundamentals. Not giving up. Try three times. It's okay if you get rejected. You should expect to get rejected. Matter of fact, rejections actually makes you a lot better. It makes you more creative. If you ask me, what has given me a better feedback, either positive feedback or negative feedback, I could guarantee you that it's always negative. Okay, rejections, because it allows me to really put all my tools together and to determine what works, what doesn't work, and I keep working on it. So once again, going back into the basics, if we talk about sales, for example, just the basics, qualifying. We're underwriting a little bit more, and believe it or not, it's very disappointing to have agents which are good agents. We like every single one of you guys. Matter of fact, I have besides some of the missing steps or not focusing, you guys have a lot of potentials. I really don't have a lot of negatives, but you guys miss all the basic steps. Qualifying, for example, thinking outside of the box. Those are the basic fundamentals that we teach you within the first month. and those are the ones that actually makes a bigger impact. See, if we don't follow the basics, Jose, I think it makes life difficult. Basics in life is waking up, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, putting some socks. These are basic stuff that we do every single morning. There's basic fundamentals that every single one of us follows in life in general. Now, just imagine if you stop doing these basic fundamentals. Okay, you stop taking a shower, you stop, brushing your teeth. You put no gel on your hair. All of these basics. What's going to happen? Obviously, there's going to be a negative reaction, and that's exactly that's the outcome that we're getting today. Us missing all of these basics or not following the fundamentals, it makes our job more difficult, because instead of us teaching you guys how to generate more traffic, charge more broker's fee. Okay, and I have a few examples. Jonathan, for example, he's been learning a different. He's been following. He hasn't been learning something different. He's been following the basics, the fundamentals, and it's been working. So Jose's been working with LA5 on marketing, and I guarantee you, there's been a difference, because now we're enforcing the basic fundamentals. So if we all follow the basics, then we could teach you new things. We could teach you how to add more value, how to charge more broker's fee, how to generate more traffic, how to bring more appointments, how to generate more walk-ins. All of these is technically, these areas are the areas that we want to work with you, but we're forced to go back on teaching you how to qualify, how to think outside of the box. I get some questions that are pretty insane, Jose, because these are basic, it requires basic knowledge. So I think that's very important, and it's a good thing you brought it up. Fundamentals, basics, we forget about them, and then it's at the end of the day, it brings us back.
Mm-hmm. It brings us back because now instead of us moving forward, we're moving back.
We're backtracking.
And with the fundamentals of just marketing and sales, I hope that you guys understand that the reason we are bringing the fundamental thing up is because that's probably the most important thing in anything. Everything that you do, if you play sports, I mean, we have a couple of athletes here at the company, but if you understand, we do. We have a couple of athletes, if you understand the fundamentals of the sport or understand the fundamentals of the trade or whatever it is, you'll be able to get better in every aspect of the business. So for example, in sales, if you're able to understand qualifying, which to me in sales, that's the most important part out of everything. When you give the option, like the option A and B or the total, whatever, to me that's the easiest part. The hardest part is really understanding your customer, because sometimes the customer will come and tell you something, and then whenever I come in, I ask a different question and I get a completely different story, and then I'm able to convince the customer to buy because the agent did not understand them and I did. So yes, I think that fundamentals are very important in me. I love understanding people. So when I qualify, I take that to heart. So I ask different questions, and I trust that the fundamentals are going to work. My steps are always the same. Qualify, confirm, introduce monthly, confirm monthly, and then approximate for total. Confirm that he has approximate for total. Total, option A and B. It doesn't change ever. It stays exactly the same. I don't steer away from it. Some of us, I don't know why we decided to start doing different things, like just giving the total and then just waiting for yes or no. And then when they say no, you just start trying to convince them on option A, they're just giving them the same thing over and over again.
Or you call.
Hey, Jose, you know what? Hey, Jose, you know what? He doesn't like the price. I'm gonna give him a $200 discount because yeah. So it's like it kind of defeats the purpose of trusting the fundamentals. If you trust the fundamentals, everything becomes so much easier for you and for us. And what ends up happening is that since you're so confident in the fundamentals, you'll be able to convince customers faster, and that gives you more time to go generate more business. That gives you confidence to go out there and you get somebody else. The thing is it's like a snowball effect. Once you get better at the fundamentals, you get better at everything else. You get better at marketing, you get better at sales, you get better at talking to your subordinates, to your leadership, whatever. Everything gets better. So if you at least trust what you do, the fundamentals of what you do, everything else gets better when it comes down to everything else, because it's just the fundamentals are the ones that lead you to where you want to go.
Everything's connected. I'll mention something that has to do with underwriting, for example. We skip a lot of steps, and and it makes everything difficult. See, I would always get some complaints at one point that going back and forth, technically when we underwrite, it becomes more of an issue because the time consumption, the clients get it, a little bit frustrated because they're waiting because you're going back and forth. But see, if you actually look at the big picture, we're going back and forth because you're not qualifying correctly. See, if I do my job correctly as an agent, like Jose mentioned, step number one is qualifying and confirming. If you do those things correctly, I could guarantee you everything else is easy because, I want you guys to agree or disagree with us. Now, we've been involved a little bit more within these last couple days, last couple weeks. So we know exactly what process you guys are taking, but I could guarantee you that a lot of these deals that maybe we were able to charge a 200-300 on a policy that maybe if you would have done it last month, it would have been 100, 200, or 50, for example. The reason we were able to have a little bit more success is because the basics, the fundamentals, which it starts with qualifying, we did a better job. So if I qualify correctly, I confirm correctly, then it allows me to set up a presentation. I'm pretty sure you guys will remember. Presentation is one of the areas, Jose, that we've been working on with everyone. If you have a good presentation, then it allows you to convince a client. I use a concept of a shoe store, for example, on my basic training, that if you walk into a shoe store and they already know who you are, they have your shoe size, guess what? They're going to walk in with a couple of options. They're going to tell you, look, Jose, these are the options that I have for you. What style are you looking for? Or what colors are you looking for?
Morning.
So it makes it easier for me to sell Jose a couple pairs of shoes, not only one, because I know his shoe size. Maybe I know exactly what style he likes. I know if he has money or not, because if he's a returning client, it allows me to have a good perspective of him. But if it's a new client, unless I qualify him, I'm not able to sell him anything.
Hold on, what date is it, the 10th or the 25th? That's going to determine how many shoes I buy.
Yeah, true.
It's the 10th.
So probably the 10th. So
The 10th.
or the 11th.
The
So
11th, yeah.
the concept is, if you qualify correctly, it allows you to have a better chance of selling a client an option that they're going to buy. It gives you an ability of setting up a presentation that has a lot of value. That's another term that we've been using a lot more, which is value. I can sell you a pen. This pen over here is probably worth maybe 15 cents. Well, it's a little damaged. So
Here in family is scarce, so it's worth a lot of money.
yeah, no, but look, it's damaged. Okay,
It's bitten.
So it may be worth maybe
It's probably damaged.
5 cents. If we get this from China, maybe 20 cents. Okay. See, the concept is, if I could add value, if I know you need a pen and the pen is probably going to make a big impact, within a transaction or within a situation, I could sell you this pen for $100 if I know how to sell it to you. Now, if I don't add any value whatsoever, then you're probably not even going to pay me a penny for it. So it's all about knowing how to sell certain options, knowing exactly, understanding the client. Qualifying, it has to do with understanding the client, setting up a good presentation that makes sense to them, that there's a lot of logic behind it, that is valuable, and then they're willing to pay. They're willing to pay more than what we think.
Yeah, so, I mean, you use a shoe store, I use a tailor, okay? Some of us are chunkier than others, so you're, as a salesperson, you're supposed to set up a
Tailor.
presentation based on their, forma.
Situation.
Either they're like this, or they're like that, I don't know, however they are, potato shape or triangle shape, whatever they are, you basically set up your presentation based on them. So customer comes in with a specific situation, he's young, has tickets, guess what? You're gonna set up a presentation based on that. Or a customer used to pay $300 for insurance, we found him $100. You're gonna set up a presentation based on savings. You're gonna find out, and then that's your job. I came up with this thing. I don't know. I got it from Rudy, but I kind of made it my own. It's very simple. I follow 4 things. Are they ready? Are they committed? Do they have money? And how could I justify? If you have those 4 things, you can sell anybody. Why? Because if someone's ready, if they don't got to talk to anybody, if they're ready to buy, they already thought about it, they already shopped around, they're at the last place, they're ready to go, they're ready. They have money. You guys already know how to ask if they have money, and you have to make them commit. So that's one thing that a lot of us forget to do. You guys forget to make them commit to buying insurance today. And the last thing is, how am I going to justify? What I mean by that is, do I understand the customer? Like, do I understand what he wants? and am I going to be able to convince him to buy based on what I think he needs? And if you don't have any of those four, that's when you need to start thinking outside of the box and saying, hey, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to convince this guy to buy. Maybe I should ask more questions. Maybe I should look for some kind of solution. Or if the customer isn't committed yet, hey, I haven't gotten this guy to commit. What should I tell him to make him commit? What is it? What am I missing? So those are the kind of things that I think that a lot of us need work on. But yeah, habits, guys. I guess we covered a couple. What was it? The marketing habits, which is go up to everybody that you see.
Approach everybody.
Try at least 3 times.
Don't give up so fast.
Yeah. Give yourself a rule. Just to kind of keep yourself from human behavior. If you feel like you get distracted, give yourself a rule of 10, 20 people. I mean, everybody's different. I'll be honest. If you say 10, give yourself make it a little bit more difficult for yourself. Do 20. If you say 20, make it difficult for yourself. Do 30. Always push yourself to do more than what you expect of yourself. What other things? Trust the fundamentals. So whatever the fundamentals are, go over them, understand them, practice them. If you don't know them, ask us. I promise you that I have a lot of information that I could give you guys that'll show you how to use the fundamentals to your advantage. So basically, these habits, work on them. We'll have other videos, and I'm pretty sure we'll have different habits to contribute. But right now, these are the ones that we think that you all need. We all need, and I mean we, because sometimes I need to fix habits too. So habits, all right, guys.
Yeah. Let's just make sure we keep everything in mind, and let's do a little bit of practicing as well.